The Browns are now 4-1, and it's their first time going that record since 1994. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky has an interesting comparison for this year's Cleveland Browns. He had this to say. He said the Browns are the Titans from last year. Big ball play action early on. They take a lead, and they salt you away in the run game. If you take a look at the Titans from last year and compare them to the Browns of this year, you can see that the Titans were a running team as well as the Browns. You can see that by the fact that Derrick Henry was the rushing champion the last year. Now, Tennessee and Cleveland, as far as passing, they go to passing only when really necessary. Tennessee, the Titans last year, they had 26.9 pass attempts per game. That was last in the NFL. That was the fewest amount. The Browns this year, they averaged 30.8 pass attempts. That is the fourth lowest in the NFL. Now, we know the Titans went 9-7, and they were the sixth spot in the playoffs, but they pulled off a couple upsets and made the AFC Championship. So Les, Mary Kay, just want to ask you guys, what do you guys think of this comparison? Is this a fair assessment of what the Browns are this year?
Well, Mary Kay, you know as well as anybody that every year there's some team that steps up and becomes somebody that they probably shouldn't have been. And that would be last year. It would have been the Titans. I don't think anybody predicted Mike Vrabel's team to do that. And this year, I think the Browns are that. So I don't know if you're talking about just style points-wise or just results-wise. I think it's a good comparison. What's also a good comparison is the fact, Mary Kay, that in the AFC, so many good teams, at least early on in the first 4 or 5 games, and the NFC struggling to put good teams out there. There's going to be some bad teams making the playoff and some good ones sitting out.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Some of the AFC teams have been really, really good this season, and there's actually there's a good game on tonight, and between the Bills and the Titans, so that'll be one to watch as well. But yeah, a lot of good games, and I think it's a apt comparison. I think you can make that comparison. There's a similar offensive style between the two teams. Again, very run-oriented. Play action, the play action passing game. Ryan Tannehill does that, and it's kind of brought out the best in him as well. So, yes, I think you can make that comparison. The one thing that the Browns are doing, just about better than anybody right now, and that we've said this before, is taking it away. If you can continue to get those takeaways and set your offense up with great field position, you're going to win a lot of football games.